Is on. Good morning, everyone. Susan here. It's Saturday morning, and it's your Saturday morning with Quicksilver. Every Saturday, we show up here at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can spend some up close and personal question and answer about the software time with Quicksilver. So I have muted everyone. We are recording. The recordings are saved and uploaded to silverstarlivesoftware.com/training for right now until the new website is ready. All software focus here this morning, but I will let you know because I know in the moment everyone wants to know when the new website is ready, and it is so close. Should be this week, but otherwise we're all going to talk about software. So if you could type your question in the chat, that will help us get to the most questions. And I think that's about it. Over to you, Quicksilver.
Yeah, the new website looks great. It'll be done almost assuredly this week, along with a new back office, which is going to be really pretty cool. Just redone, really, a much more user-friendly, the whole thing from start to finish. And we have some unbelievable software updates that are coming out this week, which are terrific. I'm going to give everybody a glance of the final updated Hamilton, which I just had all the new updates from the coders come back on yesterday. And I'm just going to give it 1 or 2 more days of testing, and then it will be out to the field. So I'll show you some of the incredible new updates for Hamilton that will I think people are going to be really happy. One thing about Hamilton is it has always run spectacular through normal events. Sometimes because of the amount of trades that it gets into, during high volatility news events, it does get into problems like we had last week. NFP week, it was a very disgusting week. But the benefit of the new Hamilton is it will turn itself off prior to news events and close out any open trades. And there is in addition to that, there's a few really cool features that I just wanted to show everybody. And I don't know, Susan, when you think would be a good idea to start with that or to go dive into questions?
I think it would be really great to dive into that because that may answer a lot of the questions. So I think we should start with that.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I will now go to screen number 7. And let's see, where is that? Right over here. Okay, maybe this is a good thing that we're recording it because this way it'll give people a chance. Okay, this is the new Hamilton. It's going to be, handling everything that you need from now on. Right now, there are 3 buttons on the main screen. Each one of these 3 buttons does a different thing. The first one will allow you to close all open trades. So you don't have, if you have 20 open trades and all of a sudden you see the market go your way, you can just hit one button and it will close all the trades simultaneously without having to wait to X out of every one of the trades. But here's one that says close all, let's see. The first one is close all chart and the second one is close all trades. Close all chart is when it will absolutely close all the trades for that chart. So if you have 10 Euro US dollars open, it will only close the Euro US dollar. The one in the middle will close all trades. And then the final one will turn off the trader and close all profitable trades. So you'll have the ability to turn off the trader manually and take the profits and only leave the negatives, so you can actually whittle them out. As far as the settings go, here are the settings. Hold on 1 second, let me open this up. Okay, the settings are very similar to what you've probably seen. But what ends up happening is Now, after it gets into the first trade, it tries to take profit. It tries to take 30 points profit on the first trade, or 40 points on the first trade. So the first trade, it always tries to get 40 points, which is 4 pips. After that, it waits on the second trade 50 pips before it actually places a second trade, and then it waits for a 70 pip move before it places trades on any other trade. You can control it. If you want to get more trades, you can turn both of these very low. If you want to be more conservative, you can, I recommend still keeping this on 50, but you might want to turn this one to 200 in order to make it more conservative. But that being said, you can do anything you want. The lot size is the way it is. You can turn your Fridays on or off. That's fine. Choose your maximum open trades and all that. Now, the maximum loss in dollars, you can set that to where it'll take just a $20 loss. Once your account reaches $20 negative, it'll shut it off. That's basically a stop loss. The take profit in points. Now, right now, this is a very interesting one. You have the choice of taking profit in points, which is here, or taking profit in dollars. Dollars, this means once it reaches $1, it will take the profit. This is 30 points or 3 pips. What that means is it will take a profit in pips. But if you have both, if you have these both on and you have the US dollar set to true, use the US dollar take profit, what'll happen is it will take whichever one is higher, the $1 or the 30 points. The maximum loss, once the software turns off, whenever there's a news event, before a high volatility news event, the software will now turn off. This high volatility news event, you can choose what is the maximum loss that you're willing to take once the software turns off. So there won't be any more huge losses. You can choose which news source you want. I love investing.com, but we also have Daily FX programmed in there. You can choose that. You can choose whether you want your software off for low, for middle, or for high news events. I only like my news on for the high events, the high volatility, and also for NFP if you want to keep it running on Friday. Also, it says only use filter for open charts. True. Which means that it will only shut the charts down on news events for the charts that you have open. So it won't shut it down for the Croatian dollar or the Malaysian dollar or for whatever. And this sets your time zone. This sets the time zone that your broker is in, not that you're in. If you look over here at the Market Watch, next to the Market Watch, it tells the time. Obviously, right now the time is frozen because the brokers are closed for the weekend. But starting Sunday at 5, this time changes to the broker time. So right next to Market Watch, there is a time. So you will set your time zone based on the time on your VPS, on your broker. So that's the way that works. So that's pretty much the tour of the new Hammy. All the glitches and bugs. We had a beta group testing it. We were going to release it this Monday, but there were still some glitches that they found in the release. So the new version of Hamilton is going to be tested Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and hopefully we can be lucky enough to get a release for Wednesday if the bugs are fixed. So that's kind of where we're at with Hamilton.
How exciting is that? Thank you for sharing that. I love it.
Now we can start taking questions, and I'm sure people are going to have a lot of questions about the Hamilton stuff. So,
absolutely. And I apologize to everyone. I was so paying attention to what he was sharing that I wasn't watching the negative energy in the chat, and that person is removed. So I apologize, everyone. I wasn't quick on that. Let me find the first question. There's a few questions about what do we do when we get into some drawdown, whether it's significant or some drawdown?
Well, the key to it is that hopefully moving forward, the new Hamilton will avoid avoid getting into that. So the key is trying to avoid the drawdown in the first place. But the other key is education. And the truth is that I was speaking to a lot of people really close to me and you know, that did have some drawdown this prior week. And the key to it is that utilizing some of what I showed on my market strategy as far as the RSI and the percentage change strategy, you can always place a hedging trade manually to get yourself out of it, or just monitor it and close out trades as soon as they start getting better manually. Obviously, it's not an ideal situation, and that's why, you know, I've addressed the situation in the Hamilton, and that's it. You know, to the new Hamilton, to where it will do it for you, so you don't have to be so on top of it. But unfortunately, it's a situation where the only way to really get out of major market crashes and things like that is through manual trading. But in the future, we can avoid the market crashes because all of the events will be bypassed, because the software will be off and you will not have to deal with the drawdown that you had to deal with before, because Hamilton will be off.
Okay. And another question, I guess just a different angle from that, is when there's events, maybe there's a multitude of events in a week, say for U.S. news, is specifically what Eric is asking. Would it be a good idea to not use those pairs then?
Absolutely. You always have control of your own software. Ultimately, we don't control your software, you do. And what ends up happening is, if you feel like something is going to be too volatile, you can definitely just not run those pairs. However, you know, when you're dealing with a week, let's say like an NFP week, every pair is going to be volatile. You can look at the euro, you can look at the Australian, you can look at the Japanese, you can look at this. By removing one pair, it's not gonna solve anything. What you know, hopefully we can address this by keeping the trader running the entire week, because the trader will no longer be turned off. We'll keep the trader running the entire week and let the software turn off and on before and after the events, so that you don't have to deal with it. That's not to say you're not going to have to monitor your trades, but what it does say is that you're going to have to deal with, you're still going to have to deal with just watching and being completely cognizant of where your trades are. But, realistically, hopefully the new Hamilton being off and on, you're not going to have much drawdown, so we're not going to have to deal with it.
A lot of brokers are unregulated. What are the dangers of using an unregulated broker?
I would say if you're using Hamilton, almost none. You can use an unregulated broker without any problem. The reason I say with Hamilton, none, because if you're going to put $500 into an account, it isn't worth their while to try to do too much manipulation. Whereas if you're going to open a Benjamin account with $2,500, $5,000, $10,000, I would be a little bit more nervous about putting $10,000 into an account that is unregulated, because that is something where manipulation can happen. I've seen them even recently not allow hedges to go through for some Benjamin stuff, and it really, it's really a pain in the neck. What I have found though lately, I've been getting hit on the head by people telling me, about, I know somebody that really doesn't like Trader's Way and they're having problems, and they told me that you should use CoinEx instead, the fees are lower and this and that. So I was starting to look, and this week I've been doing a lot more experimentation, and I've run some CoinEx accounts, and I've noticed the fees are a fraction of what Trader's Way is. And it still has an MT4 and an MT5. They both work with the US, and the fees are just very, very low. I've been having really good luck with CoinEx this week, where I didn't have the great luck with Trader's Way this week. So it was kind of it's funny. I just don't know what to do, because Trader's Way is not regulated. CoinEx has some regulation, but not full regulation. And FX Choice just doesn't have the leverage in the U.S. to be able to handle Hamilton that well. So the key to it is that I think that if I had to choose one to use moving forward, I'm using CoinEx right now. But again, everybody can.
Right. All of my members using CoinEx are really happy with it.
Yeah, it turns out that I look at it, and let's say on a Hamilton trade on Trader's Way, it took a 35-cent profit, but it took a 7-cent commission, as opposed to CoinEx, when I took a 35-cent profit, it took a 2-cent commission. That's a big difference. That's a huge difference.
And it's going to really add up over time.
Oh yeah, because if you're taking a $10 profit, you're taking a $10 profit, you don't want to be paying like $3 or $4 in fees that Trader's Way is doing it, as opposed to just paying 75 cents or fees in CoinEx. It's just the fees are, I don't know why Trader's Way just increased their fees, but whatever.
This is from Alistair, how does the new Hamilton hedge, does he bring in trades in the opposite direction, or does it close out pairs which are in profit? If you only have one pair running on your Hamilton, how does this hedging work?
It really works great. The Hamilton, it's the word hedging is kind of weird because it's not really, it doesn't usually hedge. It does have the ability to place trades in the opposite direction, but it usually does a cost average. And the way it works now, the new Hamilton, after 3 trades that it makes using the algorithm, the artificial intelligence will kick in and then start making the right decision on whether, using the same AI that Benjamin uses now, to make a decision on what to do. Usually it's going the same direction, because the theory behind most good traders do not believe in hedging, like the word hedging as far as trading the opposite direction. Because if you took a trade, for example, let's say you take a euro US dollar at 113,500. If you take a euro US dollar at 113,500 and you think it's going to go up, but it goes down, well, there was a reason you had the trade at 113,500 going up. It's because you had a conviction that the trade was going to go up in the first place. So all of a sudden, if the market moves the wrong way, are you changing your initial thought? No, your initial thought, if you have a system of trading that works, you're going to have conviction in your system. And if your system is accurate, what's going to happen is it should rebound to the same place that to the place where you think it should. And if it still goes down, the best course of action is to place a trade in the same direction and to get in at a better price. So that's called a cost average, not a hedge. But it will hedge if there is a crazy market move. But that just totally changes the perspective of which way it goes. But realistically, if you look at the percentage change and you look at the RSI, it'll give you a really good idea which direction the trade is going to go. And it's kind of like I said, you can always, you have ultimate control of your account. So ultimately, that's what's going to happen.
When is Benjamin MT4 estimated arrival?
It's already out. It's with the beta group along with Hamilton. So as soon as Hamilton's released, I believe Benjamin will be released, probably Wednesday. Somewhere in that area, assuming there's no glitches that the beta groups come up with, because it is out now. The big difference between the Benjamin MT4 and the Benjamin MT5 is Benjamin MT5 utilizes the 1 and the 2 minute charts. There are no 2 minute charts in MT4. MT4 goes from 1 minute to 5 minutes to 15 minutes. So the way that the algorithm and the artificial intelligence have studied the charts is based on 1 and 2 minute charts on MT5. So the AI is having to learn the 5 minute charts because it goes from 1 minute to 5 minute charts. instead of 1 to 2 minute charts. So it's just a matter of the platform is different. So we have to change the percentage change. So the theory behind the algorithm is slightly different based on, just the time frame of the charts. There's a lot of factors involved because the percentage of movement in the marketplace for a 5 minute chart is totally different than the 2. The actual volume in the marketplace moves different on a 5 minute chart than a 2. So there's so many factors that the algorithms need to take into account. People don't realize the difference between between MT4 and MT5, but it's a totally different platform. So, again, everything has been ironed out. It's already out with the beta testers. We've just been seeing that it's been getting way less trades than the Benjamin MT5. But, it was funny, in some of the beta testing, I've actually run a Benjamin during NFP week on a 10% change just so I can monitor it. And it made like 30% return for the week. So wow. It was crazy, but it just was getting into probably 20 trades a day, 10 trades a day. But if you're an experienced trader and you understand how to work your way out of drawdown, you can do so much profit with Benjamin, on lower percentage change. So again, the MT4 is out. It's going to be out very shortly, but it's just not going to get as many trades. So you're going to have to adjust your settings yourself. And something that people don't do enough of is they don't open up a demo account for a few days and just play with it. Because even if you have a live account, take 2 days, run Benjamin on crazy settings, and then slowly work your settings more conservatively. Get 20 trades a day on Benjamin, and then the next day try to get 5 trades a day. Then the next day try to get 2 trades a day, and then see how you can go. There's so much testing you can do yourself. With 12,000 plus customers that we have, we totally recommend people trying stuff out on demo. We love the idea that people give feedback if something, if somebody tries something out on demo and they share it, it really is beneficial to everybody. So I think, the more information we get, the better it is. No sense taking high risk on real money accounts. Play with demo.
Is the new Hamilton artificial intelligence?
After the third trade, there's AI kicks in after the third trade.
Can you please give me your suggested settings for Benjamin that you've already tested?
I can't really use suggested, but I can say that on my personal account that has done so well. I've used a 70% change. I've used a 50 profit points. I've used 70% change, 50, and what else? Let me go look that up. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on this one. Here we are.
Because we're taking your brain all over the place, that's why.
50 profit points, and I increased my lot size. I increased my lot size to instead of a 0.1 per thousand, I increased my lot size to 0.25 per thousand. So I increased my lot size, but that's just me. I wouldn't recommend that for everybody. So, I still keep my settings pretty conservative. I know a lot of people that have much more risky percentage change settings, but my settings are 0.25 per thousand, 70% change, 50 profit points. Oh, by the way, the new Benjamin, the MT5 version that everybody's running now, also has that same Hamilton news filter built into it. So if you want to have Benjamin turn off before high volatility news, like open market committee meetings and such, you can do that as well. And I highly recommend using it because, there's no sense in letting any trader, take a beating for a high volatility. And you can turn it on or turn it off if you want, but it's there.
Someone
Also,
to hear.
by the way, the new Benjamin also, you know what? Maybe what I'll do real fast. What I will do is I will share this real fast and just give people a quick sneak peek of the. Is it still sharing or not?
Not right now.
Okay, let me.
Now it is.
Okay, here's Benjamin. As you can see, this Benjamin also has this little square button in the upper left corner. This is also a close all trades button. It's going to be there so you have that. Here is the Benjamin chart settings now. It also has the news filter built into it. You know, you can choose to enable use the news filter, yes or no. You know, minutes before the news, how many minutes before it turns off, how many minutes after it turns on. If you want to enable the low or the medium volatility news, you can. I only enable the high volatility news. You set your time zone. This is a little different with MT5. You can choose the currencies that you want the volatility to affect. So if there's any news for US dollar, for euro, for GBP, for Australia, for New Zealand and Japan, it will automatically turn off your charts for those news events. Also, yeah, this is just how you want the button to look, the button to turn off the trades. So that's it. And then the loss, you know, like if you have the news reports, it'll close your trades out with up to a $10 loss. So that's it. So basically, it's similar to Hamilton as far as the news works, but it's just slightly different. So yeah, this is the new Benjamin that's also coming out immediately.
Nice. Will there be training to show them how to switch their software?
What was that?
Will there be training to show them how to switch their software?
Sure. It's not super hard to switch. All you do is you go into the back office and you change the account number. If you want to go from Hamilton to Benjamin, you take a Benjamin account number, go into the back office and just change your account number. Once you change the account number, you download Benjamin. You download Benjamin from the site. You can go to silverstarlivesoftware.com, download the new Benjamin, and then simply drag the Benjamin, place the Benjamin inside your MT5 folder and drag and drop it onto the chart. The thing is right now, it's not basically replacing anything. You're just basically doing a new install because Hamilton is MT4, Benjamin is MT5 right now. So you basically wouldn't be replacing Hamilton on the charts. You would basically just be opening up an MT5 platform. So if you have CoinEx or Trader's Way, they have an MT4 and an MT5 platform, so you can just simply on the fly open up MT4 or MT5 accounts instantly, so that you can just start your Benjamin account. So again, we'll make a video showing everything.
And then for the people updating Hamilton, would they want to make sure that they delete the Hamilton that they have in their MT4 before they put the new one in?
So you're saying like if they have Hamilton on MT4 and they're going to put a Benjamin on MT4?
No, to switch to the updated Hamilton.
Oh, yeah. I would, you can just, I would say you can just delete the old Hamilton from the folder and just put in the new Hamilton, and then that's it. And then just drag it onto the charts.
Excellent. The close all trades, does it close all trades even if they're in a negative or drawdown?
If you want, no, you're the one who controls the button. So if you're in too much drawdown, don't hit the button. I mean, you know, I can't stress enough that you have control of it. If, you know, you can't really, it's, you know, if you feel like it's a great idea to take your loss and run, you can close all trades, but don't hit the button if you have negative trades. If you want to close the chart on Thursday, you can hit the button to close the charts on Hamilton, but it will only close the positive trades and leave the negative trades open if that's the route you want. Me personally, every Thursday, I'm just going to close all trades, period, and be done with it.
Will there be more pairs in this new Hamilton?
That's a great question. Yes, there will be. Once we see how much the average drawdown is, we can, we want to make sure that we give people the possibility of making the most possible money while taking the least possible risk. So I feel like the ideal number is under $10. If we can try to keep the drawdown under $10 all the time on say 4 pairs or 5 pairs even, I'd love to run 4 or 5 pairs. If I can run 8 pairs and keep the drawdown under $10, I'd love to run 8 pairs. So I don't know if it'll work out that way for that many pairs, but I do like the idea that whatever the amount of pairs is, if we can keep the drawdown low, then we'll run more pairs. And that's basically the whole thought process behind everything.
Can you explain the 2 settings in pips? It sounds like a big gap before the second trade is taken.
No, there's not a big gap. Actually, it's a very small gap. You choose what you want your second trade pip to be. So, the first trade goes in and it tries to take 40 profit points or whatever it is you choose. Usually it's around 40. After that, it goes, if it goes up 5 pips, or, 50 points or whatever it is you want to choose. You can choose to have, if you wanted to wait for the second trade, if you wanted to wait once that trade's open, if you wanted to wait 50 pips, you can do that. If you wanted to wait 3 pips, you can do that. If you wanted to wait 100 or 200, you can do that. You control your software. There's not a big gap because you're the one who controls the gap. So if you want to choose what your trades do, you control it. Once the first trade closes, a new trade will immediately open within 1 minute. A new trade is going to open again. So once the new trade opens, then it waits whatever the pips that you chose. It'll wait that many pips before it opens the second trade. And then on the third trade, it'll wait however many pips you chose for the third trade before opening the third trade. I mean, I guess the best thing to do is, once again, I'll show you.
Excellent.
So I can, okay. See, the first trade is going to go in automatically, and then it's going to try to take profit on the first trade right here. Once it reaches 40 points, which is only 4 pips, 40 points is 4 pips. So once it takes 4 pips profit, it's going to get out of the trade and then open another trade immediately. There's no time that lapses between the second trade. Now, if this trade doesn't make 4 pips immediately, the second trade, as you can see here, the number of pips until second trade is however many you choose. So we have the pips going in, I have the pips going in at 50 because I don't want it to keep getting new trades in every 5 minutes because that's how you get drawdown. So I keep the second trade going in at 50 pips. Now, if the second trade goes in at 50 and it still continues to go against us, the third trade and all subsequent trades will go in 70 pips later. Now, if you're more conservative, you can take that and make it 200. You can do that. Or you can make it, if you don't want to do that, you can be just wanting to get 1,000 trades and say, okay, I want to go in for my second trade at 10 pips, and I want to go in at every other trade at 40 pips. You can choose whatever your numbers are. So when you mention, so to get back to your question, it seems like a long time before it gets in on the next trade. No, that's up to you. You choose when it gets in on the next trade.
What would be the max investment threshold we should keep in the new Hamilton account? I guess in general, we should talk about what amount to start with, minimal or...
500 is good. You can do 500 because the drawdown won't be too much. I can't even tell you how many people I speak to that put $2,000 in Hamilton and run higher lot sizes, even though I say no, that's a bad idea. They'll run into problems. But that being said, you control your software. So if you're doing a 0.01 lot and you have the new Hamilton, I would say that the greatest thing I can tell you is play with it, try it. If you want to run it for 3-4 days on demo, do it. Run it for 1 day on a demo, because on Hamilton, you get trades every day. You can run it for 1 day on a demo account and just see how it does. And that's it.
And there's some questions at different angles about set it and forget it. Will this new Hamilton be more set it and forget it? And then comments back and forth about there's no such thing as set it and forget it. So can you address that topic, please? Yeah,
in trading, the market is the market, so there's no way to absolutely forget it. If you are willing to take risk, you can leave it alone, set it and leave it alone and come back in a week and look at it and keep your fingers crossed. But, the new Hamilton will have more of a chance of doing that than the old Hamilton because of the news events. So yes, it's more hands-off than it was before, but there's no such thing as a fully hands-off system. Even Benjamin, which is very much, more of a, less, you don't have to micromanage Benjamin so much. You still have to look at it periodically. You still have to check. Like me, it gets to the point sometimes where I start to micromanage Benjamin, and sometimes I close out the trades early, but if I would have left it alone, it would have been better for me from a profit standpoint just to leave it alone. So I've gone 2 weeks where I'm traveling, I'm doing a lot of work for the company, I'm doing a lot of moving, and I don't even look at my Benjamin for 2 weeks, and when I come back, it makes twice as much profit as when I manage it, because it's like that. With Hamilton, I'm anticipating a lot of the same, that you could leave it alone if you need to, but there's no such thing as absolute set it and forget it, because the markets move. Let's face it, the brokers are on the other side of the trade. You're here, the broker is here. They're both trying to win. So, that's, I would never set it and forget it just because it's, I do, however, set it and forget it on futures, on the futures platform, because there's not too much manipulation there. But on a Forex platform, there's never a time where you want to absolutely set it and forget it.
Is there did I already ask this? I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry. Is there artificial intelligence in Hamilton?
Yes, you did ask that. You've been working hard.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. No, there is. It comes in after the third trade.
Sometimes it's confusing to sift through these. Anyway, the grid. Does the setting the grid higher make it more conservative?
Yes. The great thing is there's two grids now. That's where on the one I just showed, there's a second trade grid, which you can be more conservative by doing it lower. And then the second grid setting will be higher. So you will get into another trade quicker by having the new Hamilton, because you will be able to get out of the first trade with the second trade cost average much, much faster. But yes, to answer your question, yes, the higher the grid, less trades go in, more conservative, because even if your trade goes negative, it's going negative on a 0.01 lot rather than going negative on a much higher lot, because more trades and more trades and more trades. So yes, bigger grid, more conservative.
Okay. And can you talk about Dexter a bit?
Dexter is a trader that is more towards a manual trading strategy. It's really great. I would say that it's also during major market events like NFP or an open market committee meeting, you need to have Dexter off, because the normal does not apply. So I would say Dexter is a phenomenal 3 week a month trader because the last week of the month, and the first week of the next month has a lot of open market committee meetings and NFP stuff, and those are the kind of things that are not predictable in the marketplace. So you want to avoid that. This is where the news filter is going to come in for everything, not just Hamilton, not just Benjamin, but Dexter and every software moving forward. And I have a new software coming out like within the next 10 days that's going to be revolutionary. It's a management software that is only designed to be turned on if you have major drawdown. And it's going to manage your trades for you, so you can just leave and let the software manage your trades to get you out. It's going to slowly whittle down your negative. So for example, let's say you have a trade in that's a lot size of 0.11. What this management software is going to do is I think everybody who's ever traded knows that candlesticks, as your trades are going, candlesticks are going up, they're going down. The price is going up, it's going down. And it goes up and down, even if it's a really bad market and it's just dropping like a rock. During the drop, the candlesticks do stop, fluctuate, move up and down, and then they go down more, they go up and down, then they go down more. Well, during these little up spikes, what the new management software is going to do, it's going to take your 0.11 lot size, and it's going to, as soon as it sees that it starts to go up a little bit, it's going to take a 0.01 profit and then take that little bit of profit. So let's say you're down $15. Well, once you get down $14, it's going to take the dollar and then change your lot size from 0.11 to 0.10. So it's going to reduce your lot size by 0.01 every few minutes, or as much as the market will bear. So hopefully by the end of the day or by the end of the week, if you have a lot of drawdown, the new management software will take your trades, even if you're, so now you're at 0.10. If it starts to go up a little bit again, it'll take it to 0.09, then to 0.08, then to 0.07, then to 0.06 on a bunch of tiny little 0.01 trades, trying to take tiny profit in order to minimize the amount of loss. So it's a lot of times you get these negative market events for the week, but what it does do is it does give me ideas, and it does give me, it's kind of a, it kind of inspires me to try to get people out of stuff faster in a better way. So I have my engineers now putting my algorithm. I wrote an algorithm for doing that 0.10 to 0.09 to 0.08 to 0.07. And right now the coders, I have a whole team of coders putting that software together. And I am literally having them work around the clock to have it done in the next 8 days, 7 days to get that done, so we can literally be sure that before next, before the end of next month, before the end of this month, when the new NFP starts to come out for the first Friday, we're going to have a tool that in the event that something should go negative, we can at least get out of it. So that's where I'm at with that. But again, it's going to be intuitive, and I think it's really going to revolutionize the entire trading world. So I think I'm pretty proud of the idea, and we'll go from there. Let's see how it works when it gets into beta.
Exciting. What other pairs would you start with to add for Hamilton?
You've used the Euro US dollar, obviously, always. And then you have the USD JPY, the AUD USD, and then you can use the Euro versus JPY, and you can use that one. I've used the AUD versus JPY before, if you want to have a complete Asian session trader. But the fact is, as you're going through it, it has to be able to also get in because of the spread. So sometimes the Euro JPY has too high of a spread and it's not going to even get in. So that's a consideration that you have to make. You don't want to trade with too high of a spread. You want to trade with a low spread. There's a school of thought, and I have like at least a dozen traders that are using Hamilton. They increase the pairs to 4 or 5 pairs, but they reduce the spread to 3. So that with those 4 or 5 pairs, it only gets in the spreads that are really, really low. And, historically, if you're getting in with a 3 spread, it's only a few minutes before your trade gets into profit.
Smart. A few people are asking about Benjamin. They haven't been either getting no trades or hardly any trades the last 2 weeks.
Artificial intelligence, baby. That's it. Artificial intelligence. That's the name of the game. What Benjamin deals with is that if you look at these market events from the beginning of 2 weeks ago till now, there have been open market committee meetings, East European Central Bank meetings. There have been the Canadian Ivy events. There have been the NFP, the GDP, all the housing sales, the this, that. During these 2 weeks, Benjamin has been avoiding these trades because the artificial intelligence realizes that the market is not moving according to the normal that the market moves. So the artificial intelligence would rather get you no trades than put you into trades that are going to beat you up. Now, if your settings are a little bit lower, it will still get you into some trades. You can still manage Benjamin. Like even during NFP, I dropped my percent change on a demo account down to 10, and it was literally getting 20 trades a day. So you have the ability to control your software if you want. It's just insane, the amount.
Can you explain the percent change?
The percent change looks back over X number of candlesticks. So let's say you have the percent change looking back over the last 10 candles. Okay, now if the last 10 candles had a change greater than whatever the percent change is, say it's 80% change, it needs to change 80%, have an 80% move over those last 10 candles before it will get into a trade. So the lower the percent change means that there's a lower threshold to get in.
More question about the pairs. When we talked about the pairs for Hamilton, did you say how many you would suggest for on the new one?
We're going to, because what I mentioned was we want to try to keep the drawdown as low as possible. So trades, we want to keep the drawdown under, say, $10 is my process, my mindset there. So however many pairs we can get in and still keep the drawdown low, that's what we're doing. We're still on, the jury's still out on that, but again, you can start out with 2 or 3 pairs. And then if you see you're only getting $1 or $2, $3 in drawdown, you can add another pair yourself. And once you see you're getting to about $4 in drawdown, $5, then you can add another pair. So if you feel like you can add whatever you want to add, you can do. But try to keep your drawdown small.
And still a few questions. So can we talk about the updates? How do they update? They have to switch their software, right? Can you talk about?
Yep. All you do is you go into your, you know what? I will share the screen once again.
Perfect.
Here is Hamilton. So you're going to take your new file that you get on Hamilton, and you will absolutely want to copy this. You take the software and hit copy. Go to File, Open Data Folder, go to MQL4, and then go to Experts. Once you go into Experts, all you have to do is right-click and then hit Paste. Boom. That's it. Once you hit Paste, the new Hamilton is now inside your software. Once you do that, all you do is you run this and you go to Expert Advisors, you right click and you refresh. Once you hit refresh, it will refresh your group. It'll refresh it and that's it. That's all. That's all you do. And then it's up and running. Well, after it's in the group, you still have to take it and just drag it over here. But once you drag it onto the desktop, pretty much it's done. That's it.
Thank you. Repeat questions. If you have anything else to add while I'm sorting through the questions.
No.
We are at the bottom of the hour. I'll keep shifting through these.
Yeah, if we're getting a lot of repeat questions, we can just wrap it up and then that's it. We can just go from there and we can post the video for the setup and the installation part, and we can just let people refer to it, and hopefully it will be a help to people.
What does maximum loss in dollars, what does that mean in Hamilton?
Okay, the maximum loss in dollars, basically what that means is, let me see here, there's two sections. There's a maximum loss when the software turns off, and then there's a maximum loss in dollars. The maximum loss in dollars is more of a total stop loss. So you can set the maximum amount of money you want to lose per pair. So you're going to have to say, let's say you're willing to lose up to $10 per pair, or something like that, or up to 15 per pair. So, if you have two pairs, you can run the risk of losing 30. That's basically how it works. It'll shut off all trades after you get to that point. But that being said, I would not, on the new software, even use that. I would have the maximum loss when the software turns off set to whatever you want. So when your software turns off, if you're up to $10 down, it will automatically close your trades. This way, you're never getting into a big loss. It's stopping your losses before they happen. And that's the reason why the new software is going to be, there's no getting around having a trade go negative, but if you can limit the negative, that's really where we're at.
Is there, Eduardo, is there a way to see if Benjamin is working on a demo account? I mean, if I open a sell and or buy trade and let it run, will the software do something?
Yes, it will do it. But if you really want to see Benjamin working or not working, open a demo account, set the software to a 10% change, and see what happens.
On a demo account?
On a demo. Please do it on a demo. Let me see if I can find a demo account here that I've used. I have to open up a VPS. A 10% change demo. Just to give people an idea. Okay, I found one. Here is a demo account for Benjamin. I opened it up the other day. It's just a day or so ago. Started with $10,000. You can look. This was opened on 3/6. And it got about 40 trades in like one day, in like a day and a half.
Oh my goodness.
From $10,000 to $11,201.
Can you share the screen?
Oh, didn't I do it already?
No.
Oh, shoosh. Okay. Here it is. This is a Benjamin demo account I just did the other day. It was just for a day and a half. It went from 10,000 to 11,120. If you look at it, you know, here's when it was opened on the, there it is. All of these trades that you're looking here are all on the 7th. There were about 40 trades that came in on the 7th. Every one of these all came in on the 7th.
Wow.
So it just shows you that if you want to see Benjamin working, I opened up, you know, a lot of pairs, 13 pairs, 13 pairs with Benjamin, and it got trades literally all day. Every 5 minutes it got a trade. So it's the settings on, you know, the settings I used, as you can see, the percent change, 10, profit points, 40, and a lot size, 2.5 on a $10,000 account. So the fact is, it's, you know, it's running really well. And this particular Benjamin has the news filter on it, as you can see. So it was, you know, it was running with everything. So you can absolutely try out the software. If you want to see Benjamin working, you can do it on 10%. But, you know, I mean, if you're a professional trader and you understand how to use the indicators to get you out of bad trades, you can run it on 10% and literally get trades all day long and just manually close them out as you see fit. You know, this Benjamin really does a good job of getting you out of trades. So, you know, that's neither here nor there, but if you want to see it working, lower the percent change and you'll see it working.
Is it good to clear your cache weekly?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to clear your cache before you install a new one.
There's a few questions on different angles about how some people get more trades, less trades, more profitable. So do you want to talk about how it's different for everyone?
Everybody's trader is different. It gets in at a different time based on the latency, on the VPS, based on your broker, just based on the fact that the software is running independently. So everybody's going to get in at a different trade, both Benjamin and Hamilton. There's no real rhyme or rhythm to anything, but the great thing about it is the reason that we have it set that way is, one, we're not going to break the law by having everybody get a mirror trade or a PAM trade or just everybody getting in at the same point type of trade. That's illegal. But everybody has to have the right to choose their own software and run their software with whatever settings. The reason two people don't get the same trades, a lot of people have different settings. A lot of people have different brokers. A lot of people have different VPS and VPS speeds. A lot of people have, just have a lot of different variables with it. Even on the VPS, if they're on a different server, their internet may be faster than someone else's internet. There's a lot of factors that go into play there. So the processor on the computer that you're running is absolutely an issue. So depending on the level of processor will determine exactly where you're at. So yeah, there's a million factors that will cause different trades.
Lowest maximum leverage. There's actually been a few questions in regards to leverage. So can you talk about account leverage, broker account leverage with Hamilton, please?
Hamilton, the bigger, the better the leverage, the better the results. So I would really love to be at least 400 or 500, preferably if you can get to 1,000, that's great. But CoinEx gives you 500, which is pretty good. Trader's Way does 1,000, but again, their fees are much higher. You're getting more leverage, but you're paying more fees on every trade. So, I think overall, there's, the higher the leverage, the better for Hamilton.
And actually the RSI, there's been a few questions in different directions about the RSI. Should the RSI be on both Hamilton and Benjamin? Should we have the RSI on the charts?
I love having the RSI on the charts. I think it doesn't affect the trade in any way, but it gives you a visual indicator which way the trade is going to go. If you have a buy position and you're at a 25 RSI, you're pretty much going to be in good shape. If you're of a buy position and you're at a 75 RSI, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh crap, that's not good. So, you really at that point have an option to be able to almost place a hedge trade yourself going the opposite direction in order to offset when the trade goes down. So there's a lot of beautiful options that you have, whether it's a buy or a sell manual trade, that the RSI will give you a real good indicator of where you can possibly go.
On Hamilton, maximum stop in dollars. Does that mean he will close trades on that amount even if the software is on?
Yes. It'll close your trades. That's more of a stop loss type of thing. But now with the new software, I'm telling you, it's a much better idea to just use the turning it off when the software goes off. When the software goes off, let the software shut down your trades for you, so you're not getting into the kind of drawdown that you could get into.
Is it good to take profit manually with Hamilton?
Absolutely. We've had a lot of people that if you're sitting in front of your computer and you're seeing profit and you're constantly taking 30 cents here, 20 cents there, 50 cents there, 6 cents there, and you constantly do that all day, you're never going to get into drawdown, and you're always going to, I wouldn't say always, but your chance of making, you can make 10% a day on your money, which is huge. But, again, at that point now, you're really spending a lot of time. So that's why I would say just let the software run with the new settings and let the software do it for you. But there's a lot of people that are absolutely just closing it out as soon as they see any profit at all.
Chad is asking, why is there no stop loss on Hamilton?
There is. You can set the stop loss if you want it. That's what I was just saying. You can set maximum loss in dollars is a stop loss. It would just close it out at that number per trade, per pair. So like if you have a $10 or $15 shutdown per pair, as soon as it reaches $15, it'll close out all trades. If it reaches, that means $30 on two trades, on two pairs. So you do have a stop loss on it.
The trailing, can you compare it or describe what is the trailing stop loss in Benjamin?
Trailing stop loss, it's kind of a misnomer. The way it says stop loss, it's not really a stop loss, the trailing stop loss. It's more of a trailing profit. What that means is, let's say Benjamin is set to take 50 points. Once it reaches 50, it marks it, and after that, it will mark it, go up, and if it goes back down and hits the 50, that's where it'll take it. If it goes to 100, it'll take 100. If not, it'll take 50. Hold on 1 second. Be right back for 1 second. There's a weed guy at my door that keeps constantly hitting the lawn guy's ringing the bell over and over again. 1 second. Let me just tell him I'm busy.
Okay. And Clarence, the grapevine that you've heard about the oil and gold is true.
Silver.
Silver, not gold. You'll hear. I'll use the same answer I always hear. You'll hear when it's getting close to being released, right?
Yeah, we just have so many other things that are taking precedent, like the New Hamilton, Benjamin, the management software.
Okay.
That's
What does minutes for web check mean?
It'll automatically turn your software on after the software was reinstalled. That's all. It just basically refreshes your charts every 40 minutes. Or an hour or whatever you set it for. It just refreshes your charts.
Oh, and Eduardo must be missing. You haven't been sharing your joke of the week, so.
Oh, I don't have clean ones that I can do. I'm totally out of the clean ones. But let's see.
I guess it's been a while since we've been doing the joke of the week.
Yeah, I really should prepare a clean one, but I don't really.
He's counting. It's been more than 4 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I really, I feel bad, but I just, my repertoire of clean jokes is really limited. I'm not real good with those things, but trying to think if there's one that I guess. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too racy with these things.
Okay, now they just, but we're adults, so they just want it. Oh, Michael, what is a chicken's worst day? I don't know.
What's a chicken's worst day?
Friday.
Yes. That's good. That's good.
And does someone have the link handy of the question and answer? I can go grab it if we need to, but there's a few that are asking. It's just it's a really great resource. Support went to a lot of work, and they broke up all of the previous recordings of our many recordings that we've been doing this, and the questions. All you do is search your question, and it pops up with Quicksilver answering it for you. So if someone has that link handy, that would be awesome if you could post it here. Actually, I just got an idea. I know what I'll do. I'll post it where you find the recordings for this on the training page. That's what I'll do. Okay, do you have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming. It has been recorded, and as soon as I have it rendered, it'll be up on the training page.
Nice seeing everybody, and I will see you next week.
Bye.